This is the ExtraTime.com League of Ireland Voice Notes podcast, coming to you from Dalymount Park, as you can probably hear. Bohemians have earned a 2-0 victory against Sligo Rovers. Sligo Rovers had lost 3 in a row up to last week. Then they beat Derry City, but they couldn't replicate that performance tonight, and they've lost against Bohs. The goals coming either side of half-time from James Clark and Declan McDade. A deserved win for Bohemians. We'll hear more from this game in a while. Derry City drawing 0-0 with Shelbourne. They have lost ground on Shamrock Rovers, who beat Dundalk by 2-0. We'll be hearing from Tallaght Stadium a little bit later. Cork City have got a huge win against Drogheda United. 1-0 the final score there. That was vital for them, that they cut the gap on Drogheda United, who are safe as it stands. Cork City are sitting in that promotion relegation spot. They're still there, but they're a little closer to Drogheda now. Paul Crowley, formerly of Drogheda, watched that game. We'll be hearing from him. St. Pat's with the 3-1 win against UCD, a big victory for them. We'll also have more on that. In the first division, Wexford overcame Cove Ramblers by 2-1. Athlone beat Longford by 1-0. Waterford 7-0 winners against Treaty United, and Finn Harps drawing 1-1 with Galway United. Colin Hawkins was at that game for us. We'll hear from him a little bit later on. Chris Lyons getting the equaliser for Bray from the penalty spot. Mark Rossiter, they call him the postman because he always delivers. And he's literally a postman. Anyone who is listening to LOI Central this week will tell you that. There is one game still ongoing as we talk. Finn Harps 0, Kerry FC 0, a latest score. But former Bohemians and Dundalk player Mark Rossiter, you were here with me for commentary on Ocean FM for Bohs' 2-0 victory against Sligo Rovers. Sadly, anyone listening lost the commentary at 17 minutes past 9 because there was either an internet or just a phone network crash, which meant we couldn't bring the game live to the people of Sligo, Roscommon, Leitrim and Donegal. That's of course the Ocean FM audience. We didn't know it, we just kept going. Anyway, we're okay now. People can hear us now if they've chosen to listen to the podcast. What did you make of this game? Bohs 2, Sligo Rovers 0.
Look, it probably, when you look at the lion's share, the whole game, Bohs were the better team. Very professional performance. Akintunde led the line really well in the first half, brought players into play really well. Adam McDonald and Buckley, I suppose, mopped up anything that they needed in midfield. James Clark, so dangerous from the number 10, scores in the first half. I suppose with the sustained pressure that Bohs had in the first half, it was, I suppose, against the run of play, as in it was a Sligo Rovers free kick on the edge of the box by Caelan Barlow. Defended really well, cleared out. Twardek found Akintunde, held the ball up really well, actually played Twardek back in. The broke ball to James Clark, he actually cushioned it really well with his chest or his belly, as we said, in front of him, and shot across McNicholas in the first half. And probably you would have said that they would have deserved it, albeit that no keeper had Talbot had nothing to do in the whole game. But apart from Jordan Flores' free kick, McNicholas didn't have anything to do in the first half apart from pick the ball out of the net, really. And second half, it kind of, Sligo came out a little bit more in the second half, but still, Bohs very professional in what they did. I suppose showed the strength of their squad against Sligo, who were laced with injuries. But McDade came on. I think it was an Ali Cooch shot that he actually controlled really well, half turn and finished and put the game to bed. So, you're looking at, I suppose, from Decky's point of view, went into this game, very professional performance, clean sheet for Talbot, and deserved 3 points for Bohs.
We'll talk more about Bohs in a while, and I guess maybe we still have Sligo burnt into our head because we were doing it for Ocean FM tonight. But what did Sligo Rovers not do that could have got them back into this game? They did create a couple of chances in the second half, some crosses, some headers, but aside from that they didn't do much. Could they have replicated that more? Could they have gone more direct? Or was there anything they could do against a very solid and professional Bohemians team?
I think that the way that it's set up and the way that Bohs started, to put Sligo on the back foot from the start of the game, because even when the ball went up to Mada, me and you were talking about it at half-time and during the game, how isolated Max Mada was up top. If he managed to get the ball under control, Caelan Barlow, Fitzgerald and Levac, the 3 players behind him were so far behind because they're defending, and they were defending for so much of the first half that unfortunately they couldn't get out. They're shooting up into the Des Kelly end, so you're playing against the hill. It's a wonderful evening, but it was a difficult first half for them, I suppose. Rustler as well is probably pulling his hair out with Éanna Clancy coming in, the only recognised centre back that they have. pulling his hamstring after 15 minutes, was it? You having to bring on Lafferty, albeit he's a seasoned professional and stuff like that, and they actually played really well. But not having your recognised centre backs, Nando and John Mann, and I know Gary Buckley long term, but then Greg Bulger going off that'd be massive for any team, but especially for Rovers, he's a talisman for them.
Finally, on Sligo Rovers, they have Shamrock Rovers at home on Monday night. Shamrock Rovers now 1 point clear at the top of the table following their victory and Derry's draw. They've got 36 points, Derry have 35. From the Sligo Rovers point of view, is that the game you want? Or is that the game that you would, if you had a choice, absolutely not pick?
Look, as a player, you want, I suppose, I'm not going to say after a bad performance, but after, I suppose, losing a game where the opposition have been quite comfortable, you want to rectify it as quick as possible. From Rossiter's point of view, he's losing key players to his team. He doesn't have much time. He's 72 hours before they have another game. It's difficult for them. But look, he'll have them back in next morning, treat the injuries, I suppose, this evening, what they can. Hopefully with Greg, he's only jarred his ankle and possibly will be back for Monday night. But it's a difficult one for him, because you'd probably prefer it to be next weekend to allow players to recuperate a little bit more.
Well, let's talk about Bohemians and give them full credit, because they were really good tonight. Not spectacular, but solid and professional.
Very solid. As I said, Akintunde in the first half led the line so well, brought players into play. Ali Coo, Twardick, endless running out of him. Very difficult when he plays on the left-hand side, because he can run right. He's right-footed, obviously, but he's quite happy to go on the inside or the outside, so it's difficult for Branifelk. He actually done quite well, Branifelk, but, Twardick is such a powerful runner, and I think it showed in that game, the pace and power that front three have. Akintunde got in behind Morahan in the first minute. Powerful runners, and then coming behind them, James Clark just seemed to be in the right position every time when the ball broke. Got a goal, probably like the goal that he deserved in the first half, and I probably would have said him or Novak was man of the match, to be honest. It was a very solid performance, very positive performance, and I suppose for Decky, 2 goals, comfortable victory. Talbot having nothing to do, getting a clean sheet. It's a perfect result for him. There
were so many good performances from Bohs tonight and throughout the season. It's hard to pick one out, but one player that we will focus on is Keith Buckley, the captain. Last year when you and I were presenting the LOI show on LOI TV, it was a highlight show that went out on Mondays. I need to tell people, because no one watched it, which is why it has to come back this year. Thanks for that, LOI fans. Oh, we want a highlight show. That's all they've done for the last couple of years, is whinge about no highlight show. We gave you one and you didn't watch it, so thanks for nothing. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm not bitter, that's the main thing. Keith Buckley, you said it several times last year that they were missing a leader, and obviously he wasn't there. It's taken him a while maybe to play his way back to the level, but he does look at that level and he is important, and he just adds something to them, doesn't he? Yeah,
he's a great character, and I suppose when he comes back into the middle there, he just makes the team around him better. But I think more so to the point when you look at the Bohs team, he's got another one in there, because Adam McDonald is literally the same makeup as him. The two of them are so good in there, complement each other so well, that allows James Clark in front of them to bomb on, because they're always there to sweep up any bit of danger, and then they offer so much going forward. Adam McDonald has a wonderful left foot. They move the ball really well, but they just have this great sense of sniffing out potential danger, and being, I suppose, great covering players, or Marshall in the midfield to make it easier for Novak and Casper at the back. So yeah, it was a very solid performance. Ben and Flores were very comfortable as well on both fullbacks. So yeah, I think James Clark was probably the standout, but to be honest, performance-wise, they were as solid as you get.
Are Bohs in the title race?
I still think they're lacking a little bit. I still think they'll finish in the top 4 quite comfortably. But they've had a sticky patch, let's say, the last 5 games. What is it? They've only won 2 in their last 5. So yeah, look, it's going to be difficult, but I think for Bohs this year, it's more of a building thing to maybe challenge for next year, because I think in some people's eyes they're overachieving this year. I called it that they finished top 4, which I'm happy to say that so far it's a good shout. But when you look at their squad there, when McDade, Ofalabi didn't play, they've got players that can come on and change the game, and they look like a very capable unit. I just think they're lacking a little bit to challenge Derry and Shams this year.
This is the first time we've got to properly chat. You've sent a few voice notes, but we haven't actually had a chat. Shamrock Rovers, are they your favourites?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you look at the quality of the team there when they're 1-0 up against Dundalk tonight to go down to 10 men and the win 2-0. They're missing so many players. I know, like, they've had a ridiculous amount of red cards, let's say, for whatever reason, but squad wise they're probably as strong as I've ever seen. They're very good, they're very well drilled, they've match winners all over the team. You're looking at Aaron Green, hasn't played a lot of games and he scores 2 tonight, and that's, with Gaffney, Johnny Kenny, other players there, Ferrugia, they're laced with quality, and that's not even putting Jack Byrne or Graham Burke into the picture, So I think standout, if they hit any kind of consistency, I think they'll run away with it.
And just before I let you go, and I'm catching you completely on the hop with this, we didn't prepare, obviously, because we started this pretty much on full time. There's a few League of Ireland players, including one of them we saw tonight, James Talbot, in the Republic of Ireland training squad for the upcoming games. Would you like to see more? Is anyone else in the conversation at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you're always going to throw Jack Byrne in there. I think he's at this level, he's the standout player by a mile. I think Graham Burke started the season really well, but injuries have caught up with him a little bit. Technically, he's excellent. Ferrugia's had a serious season. Talbot, he's been in the Ireland squad a couple of times. I just think until you come to Europe, it makes it difficult for it, because if you see these players who might be standout in the League of Ireland doing standout performances in Europe, then I think it's a very credible call to say that they've made a statement that Stephen Kenny has to take note of. And look, he's a League of Ireland man, so I'm saying he's watching with a close eye, but there's a huge gulf between League of Ireland Premier and international football. But it's definitely on the up, but I wouldn't say that there's a call for many more than that's already been.
It does seem that you like what you're seeing in the League of Ireland at the moment.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, look, I've always been a League of Ireland fan. It's a great product. Everything seems to be on the up. I'll actually give the referees a bit of a break. They've got I suppose it's a job that they can't really win at, but I think the league is going in a good direction. At Daly Mount here, when we're looking at the far side of the pitch, they're starting to make changes with the mono stand, and everybody is trying. The players, it's a good product. It's on the up, but unfortunately for some people, it's just not happening quick enough.
Okay, Mark Rossiter, formerly of Dundalk and Bohemians, but of course a Sligo man. Thanks very much for joining us here in Dalymount Park, where we watched Bohemians beat Sligo Rovers by 2-0. You and I were on commentary for Ocean FM for some of the match. We didn't know it at the time, but it went off air at 17 minutes past 9 because I think a phone network went down. That's what I'm blaming anyway, but I think that is the actual reason. A lot more to come from around the grounds this evening, including Colin Hawkins, who watched Bray get a 1-1 draw with Galway. We'll also go to Tallaght Stadium for Shamrock Rovers 2-0 win against Bohs, and Paul Crowley will talk to us about Droghed's defeat to Cork City. Before that though, let's get some reaction from Dalymount Park. I'm about to walk down the steps to do it, and you're going to hear that right now. John Russell, Sligo Rovers manager, 2-0 defeat to Bohemians here at Dalymount Park. Your thoughts on the game?
I don't think we deserved to get anything out of it tonight. Thought Bohs were first to the ball, especially in the first half. Moved it quicker than us, and the one disappointing thing was the first goal. We knew coming up here we were down a few bodies, but then to lose Éanna Clancy so early in the game, Greg Bulger had to come off. But from our own attack and set play, we have a free kick to go in the box, and we weren't set up properly behind the ball, and Bohs transitioned quickly and scored, and we go 1-0 down. But looking at the game as a whole, we didn't penetrate enough, too slow. Bohs got to the second balls. They looked a bit more dynamic than us tonight. Yes, we are down a lot of bodies with John Mann and Nando and Fabrice. They're all top players, and it's going to be difficult, but we didn't really land a glove on Bohemians tonight, which is disappointing.
Why did you not get to those second balls? Why did you, and I'm using this phrase myself, you didn't say it, why did you not work hard enough if that was the case?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a case of not working hard enough. It's probably not working smart enough. The lads were trying, but in terms of our distances, they were too big. When we went to press, our defensive and midfield lines, there was too many gaps, and Coote was coming in off the line, and even when McDade came in the second half as well, they were picking up those little pockets. So that was disappointing, and we weren't getting our tackles in, and we weren't getting tight to people. But even in possession of the ball, we were probably too slow in our build-up. And then when the times we did break the press and got into the final third, our decision making was poor. We put balls over the bar or kicked them out of play when we were in promising position. So both in and out of possession, it was a disappointing night for us.
In the first half, Mata was very much isolated. Was it a case that you didn't get up quick enough to support him when balls were played up, or what was the situation there? I know that can be tough when Bohs press like they do here.
Yeah, that we have to keep better possession of the ball. I think we were too keen to get rid of the ball when we won it back, and that doesn't give Max time. He did brilliantly tonight, leading the line and holding up, but we have to be better in the first phase of resetting the pass and getting one or two passes before it goes up to Max, because it gives time for players, for Frank, for Will, for Caelan Barrow to get up and support, or maybe break through centrally first before it goes up. But when they're going 40-50 yard passes, it's hard to get up quickly, and that was disappointing. We spoke about that at half time, that we need to be cleaner when we did win the possession back, but look, it was a tough night at the office.
He created 3 chances in the second half here. I think they all came from crosses from the right hand side. It's easy to say it now, but could you have replicated those kind of situations more, and do you take positives from those chances created?
Yeah, look, we spoke about before the game, and that was the area we needed to target. The left back Jordan Flores, he's normally a midfielder. The left side centre back got booked as well in the first half, so that was an area we were targeting. We just didn't do it enough, and then, as you said, when we did, we looked like we were causing problems there. But you got to get the ball into those areas quicker. We were too slow and ponderous, and Bohemians were nicking the ball back, or they were winning tackles and breaking through centrally on us. So for us, we have to be better than that, and hopefully we'll do that on Monday night.
It is Shamrock Rovers in the showgrounds on Monday night. Is that the ideal game, or is that the game that you absolutely wouldn't want right now? It's the game you've no choice, but is that one that guys will be able to raise themselves for?
There's no easy games in this league, and for us, it doesn't matter who we're playing next. We've got to regroup quickly, get the lads back. Hopefully Nando might be back for Monday. We'll have John back as well from suspension. We'll have to see how Greg is. Obviously Ian is pulled up with his hamstring again, so he'll miss the game. But it's important. We're down bodies at the moment. We've got to recover quickly and go again. We've got to see the fighting spirit in the group here. You need a reaction when you get beaten. We got it last week against Derry. Lads put in a brilliant performance at home, but then you come into the game here losing 2 or 3 players, key players, and then we've lost 1 or 2 again tonight. So look, we just have to regroup and see where we are Monday morning. When
the market reopens, will you dive back in? Do you have to dive back in?
Yeah, no, definitely. Every manager will tell you they're always looking to strengthen the squad. Especially with the injuries that we have, we'll be looking to bring in 1 or 2 players to strengthen us up.
John, thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
This is the ExtraTime.com League of Ireland Voice Notes podcast, and that was the Sligo Rovers manager John Russell, quite disappointed with their night's work. I'm sure Damien Duff is happy with Shels' night's work. They got a scoreless draw away to Derry City at the Ryan McBride Brandywell. Watching it for the ExtraTime.com League of Ireland Voice Notes podcast was Gareth McGlynn, and afterwards he sent us this voice note.
We've just witnessed one of the most entertaining 0-0 draws that's seen in the Brandywell in a few years. Shelbourne take a point from the Brandywell and go up the road. I think today's selections from both managers had a little eye on Monday night. Derry City making 5 changes and Shelbourne making 4 changes. The match started off really well. Derry City seemingly getting the best of the first 9 or 10 minutes. And to be honest with you, Shelbourne started to come into the game then and got a chance after about 11 or 12 minutes, where Robinson found himself free in the box, hits it really well with his left foot. He's got Marr beaten, but it just crashes off the post and comes back out. Derry then respond with what probably was the best chance of the first half from open play, where Mark Conley in the right centre half picks a beautiful pass in over the defence. Michael Duffy coming from the left hand side is clear. He's one-on-one with the keeper, Conor Cairns, spreads himself well, but Michael Duffy does the only thing that's open to him, and he lifts it over the goalkeeper. He's away celebrating as if it's going in the ball, and out of nowhere J.R. Wilson clears the ball. But not only does he clear the ball, he clears the ball up and over the crossbar, and still it's hard to believe how he got it up and over the crossbar. Great clearance. Then the game turned in Shelbourne's favour on the 36th minute, whenever Farrell got in between Call and the ball. Call was going to clear the ball with his left foot. He's connected with Farrell, who very, very craftily puts his body in the line, hits him on the side of the ribs, and goes down for the penalty. Rob Hennessy, no doubt, straight away blows a whistle and points to the spot. Now it looks like Moylan's going to take the penalty, but they had a conversation with him and Farrell takes the ball from Moylan, which is a surprise considering he got the penalty down in Sligo for his hat-trick. But Farrell steps up, and Meyer, who thinks Farrell's going to go down the middle but dives to the side. Farrell then goes down the middle, and Meyer saves it with his foot, and it goes over the bar, which was a big moment in the match. Should Shels have scored there, Derry City would have been under serious pressure. The first half kind of petered out from there. There was one chance from Ben Doherty where Michael Duffy got down the left hand side, put a great left ball cross in, and Ben Doherty got a header on target, but he just couldn't get it over it. Half time, both managers, Damien Duff would have been much the happier of the managers at half time. Rory Higgins would have been very disappointed with his team's performance. So the second half starts, and it just shows how much of effect Rory Higgins has in this team, because for the 10 minutes after the second half, Derry City were much the better team. What he did was a small tactical switch. He brought Dummigan to the pit of the midfield, and he pushed Patrick McElhinney and O'Reilly into the 10 position, and that changed everything. From that moment on, Derry were on top for the next 25 minutes. They were really good. First of all, McGonigal got a header in 49 minutes, and then 67 minutes was probably the best chance of the match, after about 3 corners and 4 or 5 free kicks where basically Derry have Shelburne pushed back and pinned back into their own half. Kieran Cole has a header from 7 yards out, nobody near him. He goes to head it, and it's one of those headers, he's trying to get too much pace on the ball. He misses the ball with his head and it hits his shoulder, and the keeper tips it over the bar. To me, the best chance of the match. Then you've got a couple of half chances for Shelburne. They were really playing on scraps until the 80th, probably the 75th minute, where Shelburne are forced to make 2 changes. They bring off Jack Moylan, and they bring off Shane Farrell for Jad Hakanidi, Matty Smith, and then Boyd comes on for Evan Caffrey. That momentum and those changes turned the game on to Derry City for the last 10 minutes, and it was Derry City that made a few changes as well. They brought on Ryan Graydon, Will Patching, Jordan McAniff and Cian Kavanagh, and from then on in the last 10 minutes it was all Derry City. But it was really Derry City huffing and puffing rather than creating a clear-cut chance. Then the crowd are on their feet. It's 4 minutes of injury time. The 94th minute, McAniff gets taken down exactly 26 yards out. It's perfect position. It's now a debate between Will Patching and Michael Duffy who takes the free kick. Michael Duffy takes the honours, steps up, hits a beautiful free kick, but the goalkeeper is equal to it and tips it over the bar. And unfortunately for Derry City, Shelburne take a well-deserved point away from the Brandywell. And it's all eyes on Monday night.
Gareth McGlynn watching Derry City scoreless draw with Shelburne at the Ryan McBride Brandywell. I'm currently, by the way, as you listen, it's Saturday, but as I speak, it's Friday night and I'm walking away from Dalymount Park. You could probably hear the noise coming from the bar. Quite a lot of noise in Tallaght Stadium. Shamrock Rovers beating Dundalk by 2-0. Shamrock Rovers going to Sligo on Monday night. A nice trip on a bank holiday Monday. Cork City went to Drogheda United knowing they could cut the gap to 2 points if they beat Drogheda. Cork City would remain in the playoff spot regardless of result, but they'd get a little closer with a victory. Did they get the victory? Yes, they did. Watching it was Paul Crowley, who is formerly of Drogheda. He was there for LMFM and LOI TV, and afterwards sent us this voice note.
Shane, final whistle just gone here in Weavers Park. Finishes Cork City 1, Drogheda United 0. Not too much in it in the first half, both teams cancelling each other out. No goals at half time. Probably the best chances coming in the 41st minute, with Owolabi showing great pace down the sides, gets inside, cuts inside on his right foot and just shoots by the post. Drogheda had their own chance with a glancing header just before that. Adebayoga just getting on at the end of a corner. It just glances, doesn't do a whole lot wrong. The delivery from Mark, he's very good with lots of pace on it, so he just has to get a glancing header on it, but just flashes by the post. Saying that, both teams go into the second half looking for more. Cork come out the stronger in the second half. Again, not a lot in it, but they start the game really well with real intensity to go win the game. A game I feel, come the hour, they felt was there for the taking. Drogheda United didn't produce many clear-cut chances to get back into the game, but Cork City take the lead from just a normal ball from centre half straight up the middle of the field to be chased down by Owolabi. He does really well, but Colin McCabe comes out in no man's land and makes his decision easy for him. Conor Carty is on his tails, nearly catching, and McCabe comes out, just one of those keeper's positions. If he's in no man's land, he just pushes the ball by him and slots it into the net. That was in the 59th minute. Drogheda United then kicked on without creating many clear-cut chances, as I said, but an absolutely solid defensive performance from Cork City. From start to finish, they were excellent, the two centre-halves. Honohan was brilliant, outstanding, went around with a bandage on his head for most of the game after getting a clash early in the game. And Coleman was solid as well. Freddie Draper will tell you if you were talking to him that it was probably his two toughest opponents I've seen him have here this season. He got no change out of either of them. He did, however, try and get Drogheda back into the game when he was pinned by Gilchrist in the box. Turns around and gets a shot off on his right foot, just unable to test the keeper, Corcoran. Cork City then ran down the clock without Drogheda United really causing them any trouble towards the end. It was probably one of those nights that was just a little bit flat from Drogheda United tonight, and Cork City get the all-important win. And
Paul Crowley on Cork City's third victory in a row. This time they beat Drogheda United. Right, let's go to the UCD Bowl. St. Pat's beating UCD by 3-1. Noah Lewis on the mark twice, and Conor Carty also on the score sheet. That's his second game in a row to score. Afterwards, he spoke to extratime.com League of Ireland podcast presenter Luke Jordan.
Yeah, it was good. UCD are a tough side, and we knew coming here it was going to be a tough game, so yeah, happy to get the goal today.
Yeah, I mean, that's your second goal in 2 games now, 3 on John Daly. You've seen he flourishing on them.
Yeah, definitely. It gives me that kind of boost of confidence, and it's good to learn off him as well, him being an ex-striker. There's little tips and stuff around the box, and he's helped me a lot.
Yeah, just in speaking to John there, he says that's what you worked on in the last couple of weeks, was that kind of those corner kicks in particular against UCD.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a big side, and you've seen that with Noah coming on and scoring 2 headers, especially when we've got players like Ben McCormick and Jay McClelland who can put them balls into the box first. It's kind of up to the attackers to go and put their head on the end of it.
Yeah. How have you found the transition coming into the League of Ireland, playing obviously in the lower leagues in England? Has it been much of a difference for yourself, or has it been tough, or how did you find it?
Not so much tough. I think it's been a little bit harder because the football actually is a lot better, I think, and the quality we have in the group, like it kind of shows in the games we've been playing lately. But yeah, it's been enjoyable.
Have you enjoyed now your goal scoring form as well? It's your third season, is it?
Yeah.
Third. How have you found in terms of getting the goals down?
Yeah, good. So what I'm here to do is help the team out, whether that's goals or assists. It's something I've been working on in training. We do finish in quite a lot in training, and it's paying off.
Yeah, I thought finally then big game Monday night against Derry City, another big crowd expecting each car. So it's great to sign out the mid-season break with a win.
Yeah, definitely. It's something we're looking towards as well. Huge game in front of the home fans who have been acting like a 12th man for us this season, so really looking forward to it on Monday.
Conor, thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Luke Jordan chatting to Conor Carty. Don't be confused, by the way. Luke hosts the midweek extratime.com League of Ireland podcast, and that will be back in around Tuesday or Wednesday. They'll take a deep dive into everything that's going on in the League of Ireland world. Let's go to the First Division. Bray Wanderers taking on Galway United at the Carlisle grounds. Could Bray give Waterford or any of the chasing pack cause for hope by taking points off Galway United? By this stage, I think you know that they did. So let's find out how with Colin Hawkins, who sent us this voice note.
Hi Oisin, just home from share of the spoils at the seaside. Bray Wanderers versus Galway United. Tale of 2 penalties. First one coming after 6 minutes. Stephen Walsh was bundled over in the box, and David Hurley scored to put Galway United 1-0 up. Not much else happened in the first half. Darren Craven had a free kick saved by Brendan Clark in the stroke at half time, a world class save from Clark from his top corner, and Rob Slevin had received a yellow card for that foul at the edge of the box, which later come back to haunt him. So 1-0 to Galway United at half time. Second half, Chris Lyons, who was lively all night up front for Bray, he won a penalty again on Slevin, which resulted in a second yellow card and a red card then for Slevin. And Chris got himself up and buried a really good penalty into the middle of the goal, high up in the middle of the goal, gave Clark no chance. Conor McCormick then had to revert back into centre back, did a good job in there for Galway United. Rob Manley had a goal, rightly ruled offside for Galway United. A couple of chances from Bray. The impetus was with Bray then. They should have really pushed on to win the game. Galway United were probably happy away from home to take the point, and Bray should have pushed on and won it. They had chances from Conor Crowley, again a good save from Brendan Clark, and a free header from Darren Craven where he would have been disappointed. He should have done better. Rob Manley did have a late chance for Galway United with a header. Again, just went over the top and then laid on a strike from the right full Murphy for Bray. Could have won it from distance, but probably won all fair result on the night. And again, with the result, the big result for Waterford, 7-0. Galway United probably a good point away from home. The 10-point gap is still there, so the tribesmen probably went home happy. For Bray, they've jumped up into third position with that result tonight, and a lot of positives from them. Some good players, some good performances there. So a lot to be positive for Bray for the end of the season as well. But Galway, they'll be happy. They have a home game against Finn Harps on Monday to try and get back to winning ways.
Colin Hawkins, who was at the Carlisle grounds to see Bray Wanderers draw 1-1 with Galway United. Chris Lyons with the goal for Bray. A big goal for him. A big goal maybe for the chasing pack as well, because if Galway keep losing points, then maybe, just maybe, Waterford can chip away at their lead. Let's just zip through the results from last night as you listen. Derry City 0, Shelburne 0, UCD 1, St Pat's 3, Drogheda United 0, Cork City 1, Bohemians 2, Sligo Rovers 0, and Shamrock Rovers 2, Dundalk 0. Aaron Green with 2 goals there. Shamrock Rovers had a man sent off, that was Ronan Finn. Afterwards, Stephen Bradley actually said that he had no issue with the decision. He said it was a sending off. Fair play to him, by the way. He was on after the game and he said that an apology isn't enough from those fans who abused his son last week, and I have to say most people would agree with him on that. Most sensible people would agree with him on that, and the League of Ireland family really supported Bradley and his family this week, and it was great to see, and it was fantastic to see Josh Bradley as well at the game last night. It was also fantastic to hear the Dundalk and Shamrock Rovers fans saying there's only one Josh Bradley. In the first division, the results: Wexford FC 2, Cove Ramblers 1, Athlone 1, Longford Town 0, Waterford 7, Treaty United 0, Bray 1, Galway United 1, and Finn Harps 0, Kerry FC 0. Full range of fixtures today, that's Saturday as you listen, in the Women's Premier Division. Bohs take on Shamrock Rovers, Galway up against Shelburne, Treaty take on Sligo, Peamount against Athlone, and Cork City meeting DLR Waves. On Monday, a full range of fixtures in the Premier Division. Dundalk take on UCD at 5, also at 5 Cork City against Bohs, at 6 Sligo Rovers up against Shamrock Rovers at 6:45, live on Virgin Media 2. The rest of the games are live on LOI TV. St Pat's take on Derry City, and at 7:45 Shelburne meet Drogheda United. Also games in the first division on Monday. Kerry FC host Waterford, Cove Ramblers take on Longford, Galway play Finn Harps, Treaty United meet Wexford, and Athlone Town take on Bray. The table in the Premier Division: Shamrock Rovers top on 36, Derry second on 35, Bohs third on 33, St Pat's fourth on 32. Those are the highlights from there. Peamount still on top in the Women's National League in the table. Let's actually take a quick scan through that if we possibly can. They're on 28 points, Shamrock Rovers second on 27, Shelburne third on 22, and in the first division, well, I think at this stage Galway still running away with it, despite the fact that they had a draw last night, a bit of a slip up, but it shouldn't cost them too much. They're on top on 46, Waterford second on 36, and then the playoff spots are Cove on 23, Athlone on 23, and Bray on 25. Wexford 2 points behind and 2 points off the playoff spots on 21. Athlone still in the playoffs, despite the fact that there was a bit of confusion about the management situation and everything that was going on there. Right, that's it for the extratime.com League of Ireland Voice Notes podcast. You can contact me via Twitter at Oisin Langan. If you're going to a game on Monday, or today, if you're going to a game in the Women's National League, please do enjoy it. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.